Here you are. See? Your shot's great.
It's great. I flipped my hair, so different day.
Check one. Okay, we are taking two. Let's do the whole thing. I know he sent me we should play the song. Oh, wait, but it's in my email. Let me check my email again.
Oh, did you find it, Ed?
I did. Here we go.
Welcome to Love Hard, Talk Dirty podcast. I am Brittany A. Moore, sex worker and somatic relationship coach, and this is my co-host,
Ed Charette, filmmaker, author, lighting designer. Yes, welcome. Thank you to John Chapman. That's the beautiful music of John Chapman.
Beautiful.
I'm going to throw tags at the end of these episodes.
It's catchy. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Loving it.
All right.
Alrighty, guys. You guys. Today we're going to talk about...
Oh, you have such a thing for Rosie Perez.
You guys.
I don't know if that was your impression of her or...
It wasn't. Rosie something. The Quiet Flex. Why emotional intelligence is sexy.
Oh, right. You know, I had only heard that term over the last few years through the internet, interwebs. To me, that was just being intelligent growing up. Like that's what that's what you aspired to do when you knew how to navigate your emotions. You know what I mean? Like anybody that could talk about their emotions or whatever was going on in their brain, and they're just being a smart person.
Just a smart person.
You know, growing up, and that's what life is. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought people were so cool. Like, wow, that person's fucking cool. You know?
Yeah.
Like really cool. Yeah, so let's talk about let's define emotional intelligence.
Yeah, give me that, because
emotional intelligence, also known as emotional quotient, which was really interesting when I looked up what emotional intelligence is. I said, let's get a textbook definition of what it is. It's also known as emotional quotient, or EQ, which is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate, and overcome challenges. It involves recognizing, understanding, and managing both your own emotions and the emotions of others. Which I don't know if when I was thinking of emotional intelligence, I did not think about incorporating, like being able to hold space for other people's emotions as well. And that's a huge part of emotional intelligence, because that's a huge part of your reactivity is other people when they're, when they're out of their selves, it can also feed into you. So if you can manage that, that's a huge part of, that's me or you. Why are you making noise? That's you.
It's a huge part of
they're a huge part of the intelligent part of the emotional maturity is like being able to hold space for not only you but other people's emotions as well. Is this better?
I think it's good. You sound good there. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
it's almost like emotional intelligence is a relationship superpower. Like,
you think?
I think so. I think if you can master regulating your feelings and keeping cool and remaining mature. What's going on with your face?
No. He's like keeping cool. I'm like, well, yeah. Because you can be. But so like you can be emotionally, but sometimes you're reactive to things and you got to work on it.
Yes, and I don't like. I don't think emotional intelligence means that like you will never ever have some kind of a reaction ever. Like I don't think that is, it's holding yourself to some like some standard that's not achievable. Like I will never react to things. Then who are you?
Right. Well, you know what? That's funny. You know what? Like it just made me think of like when we did the body image podcast, and I was we were
that was a great show, by the way.
It was a good show. Great. Check it out, folks. No cameras allowed.
No cameras, but it was good.
they didn't have lenses that could shoot that small. But seriously, folks. But when I texted you later that night after I'd listened to it or whatever it was, I was like automatically realizing that I had felt like I was very vulnerable and insecure about the whole thing. So I was like, I'm not sure if it felt like at first I'm sorry if I said anything. I don't know what I said. I was already apologetic.
Yes.
But realizing right away, like, wait a minute, why am I fucking freaking out? And
the initial email was like apologizing, and then it was like a little while later, you were like, yeah, no, but this is good. Like, it's me who's freaking out. I think it was like a 2-part thing. You were like, that would be good for us to talk about, like, what's happening. Because, and then we even noticed it after that, because once we got clothed and did the following episode, you're like, my back doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah, no.
It was.
I forgot about that. The back pain.
Definitely. Like,
you
had physical pain come up for you from feeling, like, internally uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Yeah. No, for sure.
Am I blocking your light?
Am my head blocking you and your camera?
No, you're good. I'm good. You're
sure?
good. We're good.
Okay.
So in terms of, so then when you like, because do you find emotional intelligence sexy? Here's the thing: are all women emotionally intelligent?
No.
Right?
Of course not.
And do we? And is it something that no, of course not. Well, why? Of course not. Why such a strong?
I don't, because not all women are anything, and not all men are. Like, I just feel like
it's a broad generalization, or a generalization about broads.
Yes.
Quoting a movie. Sorry.
No, but I also don't think men are. I think that there has been this stigma that, like, men are logical and women are emotional, but
there's always a thing of women are more in touch with their feelings than men.
They can be, but that's not necessarily true. I know a lot of women who are really detached from their emotions, from themselves. A lot of, especially women in positions of power, who are like, they're get-or-dones, and they're not so much, they're not into emotion, being touched. They're like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I got shit to do. So, like, but that's a different level of things. But I do know. I think that some people, there's women that I come. So to get back on what I was saying about women in high-powered positions. They're very, mature and they fucking hold it down in their positions, but then don't have that emotional intelligence or maturity when it comes to handle things at home. They're just, So that's the point that I was trying to get at. That
I didn't mean to get us off on a weird tangent-y topic. I was just, or of it. Like, I was curious in terms of what.
I don't think gender roles play is what I was getting at. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. But because like I'm like, how much of that, like, if I see that in a woman, do I find it attractive? So I'm thinking of it in terms of emotional intelligence being attractive. I feel like that's something that, at least in social media, I see women saying it toward men. Like, if you have emotional intelligence, you're more attractive. You know what I mean? I don't see that going the other way. Men, you're just like,
that's interesting.
Very rare. It would just be like,
I think boobs, some men find it, they're like boobs, and that's okay. They're like, I can deal with all the other shit if you know.
But I mean, men are, you can't really talk about those, or can you have those kinds of boundaries yourself, or what's the word? That you want a partner to be able to have it. I don't hear men saying those kind of things, like, ever. I need a woman that's more emotionally intelligent than. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it. That might insult women if they're like, what? I don't know my emotions. Fuck you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it is.
That's a great. I don't know either. I think that's a great, because you're right. I don't know if I see as much men, like you said, on social media making these posts. Now there are conversations that I am having with men who are like, they'll talk about the emotional maturity of their partners or ex-partners or whatever it is. I do find that men tend to put up with a lot more. I'm like, why are you with this person who's, who's doing these incredibly abusive and toxic things? Like, this is not okay. So I don't know if I can say that men put up with a lot more, because women also.
Right,
I just don't think it's spoken about. Like, there's like a need for it, where like, but also women need that emotional connection in general, like sex wise, to be intimate, that's a huge part of like that emotional connection, that emotional maturity plays, like that emotional maturity of their partner plays into, it goes into the bedroom for us, at least for
the good partners,
for the at least the conversations I'm having with my friends. Whereas I feel like for men, like they can separate, like you were acting like a child 2 minutes ago, but we're gonna have sex now. Great, you know, like so I do think
it's really hard for me to pardon the pun. I can't. You know what I mean? Like if you want to, it's gonna take a lot for me to.
For you,
if you just attacked my psyche
and
my, you know what I mean? Like if you went out of your way to hurt me. It's gonna take a while. You know, that's
I
not
love
something that turns me on.
So that may be a stereotype that I'm putting on men, that like they don't give a fuck, and like when that may not be true.
But it is. I mean, I don't know. I could be the the exception that proves the rule. Maybe I don't know. But I
don't think so. I think when we're putting gender on thing, it makes things weird, because I don't think that like there's like men do one thing more than the other. I do think that like men aren't talking about these things.
Right. That is a thing. That is, and what I meant by, I mean, you know, if you identify as a man or whatever, you know, there is a thing where that, I mean, you're not really, and that's depending on the culture you come from of men. Like there's different, you know, every race, every ethnicity, everybody has their own ways of holding in their emotions, or you know what a man is and what you can share, what you can't share, and how you handle problems and all that kind of stuff. So it is a whole Pandora's box to open in terms of really who we're talking about or what we're talking about. But I think the idea of men communicating anything in an emotional sense, it is, and because you talk about, you hear people talking, and I guess I do too, but I still hear the same things a lot of times if I'm talking to. I have a female friends, let's say, or whatever, where they're
recording.
My camera, bitch. That's what she just said.
Cut you off mid-sentence. It was like, I can't see myself, motherfucker. Sorry.
No, you're right.
Your friend, what? You're gonna lose your thought. Fuck. No, you got it. It's there. Your friend.
Well, it's like literally different friends, and it's the same. There are some of the same complaint that it seems to be. Well, either one, it's the men are too mature, so like they're literally just taking care of another kid. You know what I mean? Where that kind of thing, where they're getting high and playing video games and doing whatever, and they're not, you know what I mean? And they have another kid. And then the other side, where they're just extremely jealous, abusive, you know, and either I find the women are making excuses for them, finding ways to make it work, or, you know, I must have said so. Like, and those are from an outside perspective. I'm not talking about social media or whatever. I'm just people I'm talking to or whatever. And maybe they identify, I'm in an abusive relationship, or they do that week they're talking to me, but then they don't talk to me for a while because they're in the relationship and they don't want to push any buttons. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, well, so I don't know. It's hard for me to see in terms of in real life as opposed to social media. On social media, I see, depending on the feed you get, I see people talking like different, you know, men having these emotional intelligent conversations, but usually in forums or on podcasts. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not in real life. So I don't know how that works.
I think more conversations are coming up in real life because of these podcasts. Like right. You know, we're having more of these conversations. Yeah.
Okay.
I think there is a shift. I think that the awareness of, you know, like abusive relationships. I don't think a lot of people, I think social media has helped a lot of people recognize that they're in these kind of relationships and that they don't have that emotional maturity and, you know, emotional intelligence.
Maybe that's why.
Access to the podcast.
I was going to say maybe that's why I see a lot of people not on social media much anymore. The people, like, I didn't want to write in my journal forever. I didn't want to write because what was I going to write about? I'm in an abusive relationship. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to face the reality of where I was. And maybe there's something to the idea of some people I know who they won't go on social media because they don't want to, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going down a really dark, deep rabbit hole. I didn't mean to be a bummer, but I'm just thinking in terms of, because you were talking about people that you know and that you're talking to men, and lately I haven't talked to men, you know, my male friends in like a hot minute. So, The only ones I do, it's always about film or lighting. You know what we're doing.
Not really having like these conversations like, hey, how was your mental this week? You know, did you have mature conversations with your wife?
Right. I mean, and when we were younger, we did. You know what I mean? Like, that's all we ever talked about. I was like, when I was a kid, I mean, literally 16, you know, or even younger, 14, 15, 16, we were just always that. I don't know why, before therapy started, you know?
Do you think because you, like, I don't know, there's kind of like this innocence and like this, like, you don't know yet what's out there in the world or how hard life is going to hit you. And so you have all these, like, you know, ideas
maybe the naivete of it, maybe. Or, I mean, also, I think at least some of us, or me, like, I had trauma early on that I was already dealing with and coping with, and having a friend to talk to, even if it wasn't about that, but about feelings and about things and trying and all that stuff, helped me get, you know, more situated. By the time I actually did start therapy years later, I was at a good grounding, because I had, you know, I remember my friend was going to school and he was taking psychology courses and sociology courses, and I would go hang out with him at his school and go to those classes, or wait for him to get back from class and we talk about what he learned.
Oh, that's cool.
And was it because I wanted my, you know, to expand my horizons and knowledge, or was I really just working on what the hell was wrong with me because I had all these issues growing up? So
are you in therapy now?
No, but only because I can't afford it.
Do you not have health insurance?
Negative. Matter of fact, I lost my health insurance when I became a full-timer at my job, because that insurance didn't have, like, New York State Health at the time had good insurance, and I could use, and there was one therapist I liked a lot, and she was in Queens, and I still kept in touch, you know, we still whatever, but then eventually it couldn't happen. So but therapy didn't work for me for many years. Like, it was just like, what am I doing? Or actually, that's true. When I first got therapy, it was more like a group thing, and I was coming to terms with stuff. I was like, okay, I can't do this group thing. And then I started with this one woman, and she got me talking more. I had become more isolated at that point in my life, and so I was able to talk more about stuff and just share. You know, I had a couple sessions where I broke down crying, but it was usually a buildup of, like, where I had gone in my life. I was just stressed about everything. And then I stopped. And then, like, when I went down to Florida, I was by myself, and I wanted to get a therapist, but I had gotten one down there. I was like, she's looking at her notepad the whole time. She has no idea what she's doing. And some of them were just like, oh, there's no more talk therapy anymore. It's just meds, whatever. So I had to go and find myself a therapist. And I had no insurance in Florida then, so I was paying out of pocket, you know. But I had already written my first book manuscript, which was totally, there's a part in there that was like, you know, I was dealing with my childhood trauma. There's a part in the book where the kid gets up, he's 6 years old, and is looking at the mirror in the bathroom, and what he sees is, like, he hates himself for what's going on in his life or whatever. And that whole mirror aspect and how it was affecting me at that time. So I went there with that to I'm looking for a therapist going like, look, you need to be able to bring this, you know what I mean? We need to be able to talk about, you know, the subconscious, what we're, you know, I need all these. And so I finally found somebody, went to her for a real long time down there in Florida, and then I moved and came back up here and found nothing for a long time until that one person in Queens. Wow, long way to go to say no, I'm not in therapy at the moment. I have been, you know, I was thinking about it the other day that I saw some post of, you know, I forget what I was saying. I saw some post because somebody was like, you know, people saying that I'm getting on this, like, woke stuff. I don't remember what. God, Nevin, take two. I just been working on it for a very long time. Like, my first book is very psychology oriented and dealing with emotions and suppressed emotions, and that I started like 25 years ago. You know what I mean? Wow. My first short film that's out there was like 15 years ago, and so I guess that's why I always associate it with, that's what being a smart person, because you were going toward a smarter version of yourself, breaking apart your emotions, but a lot of mine was based in trauma and learning from it. Sorry.
Which I think is the best thing you can do, is fucking take your trauma and not make it you or become it, but learn from it and fucking do something about it.
Here's a question. So if you're sitting here talking to somebody with trauma, because, like, having those conversations, how can that be and should it be a turn on? Like you're having a conversation, or what was it, sapiosexual? What was the one that's the emotional?
That's the sapio.
Right? Mm-hmm. Or was that intelligence?
Oh, you're right. It is like I need something mentally stimulating as sapio. So that feeds into intelligence. I'm not sure about the emotional one. There's just so many. I can't.
I know. Right I know. And I just threw out I vomited a whole bunch of shit. But I guess what I'm saying is, so like, let's say part of my emotional intelligence is going through my trauma. And, we could talk about some of those things. Is being attracted to some of the things because some of the things I say could be a turnoff, or is it just because you are emotionally in, you see how I've grabbed all my trauma and I have all this stuff, but I'm able to talk about it in an emotional, intelligent way. Could there still be an attraction there, or are you attracted to the damaged goods of the person? Do you know what I mean?
So I think that depends on when you would ask me that question in life. Right. So there was a point where like I was afraid to date I would specifically date a certain type of person because I felt like I wasn't good enough for I wasn't good enough for a certain type of man, right, or a certain type of woman. So I would specifically date like someone that I knew was damaged or like had something that was like, because I felt that way about myself. Right. I would have these men who were put together who were interested in me, and I'm like, this guy goes to the fucking gym every day, like hell no. Like, I'd pick someone that I know ate fucking McDonald's all the time, knowing that I didn't, but because I had to have a little something over them, like you asked me that in my fucking 20s, and that's how I viewed dating. Ask me that now. And then there was a point where I'd get turned off at anyone who had trauma, like, oh, I don't want to hear about your shit. Like, what do you mean? I found that as weakness. I found your trauma as a weakness. And now you ask me, and it's just like all I care about is how you're dealing with it now. How does your trauma show up with you now? If I can I don't give a fuck about what happened before, or I don't know if that adds into like the attraction of how much trauma they had or not. Because at this point, I think I've realized almost everybody has had some kind of something that they are fucking dealing with in some way or another. And so it's just about, to me, what turns me the fuck on is how are you holding that? How are you dealing with that shit? How are you able to show up for me through your fucking trauma, And can you communicate, like, how do you deal with that? That to me is such a turn on. Someone who can like, hey, I'm not feeling good today, who can actually communicate that to me. I'm like, really? Holy fuck. Like, like that shit. I don't know what to do with that. It's like, that is such a turn on. I don't know how do you feel about that? Like, dating people who are,
I'd probably have to check with the wife first, but
like,
I get,
like, are you turned on by like broken women? Are you turned on?
Well, I feel like that when I was younger, it was hard to decipher or learn as I was, because we'd be sharing and having those emotional connections. You know what I mean? And then because we're so emotionally connected, we're sharing our trauma.
And you feel like you're like a trauma bonding.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
Okay. So you're trauma bonding with people and then mistaking that as, oh my God.
Right.
This is amazing.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I can be with this person.
Right. And there was
sharing trauma is really intimate. So like, it's hard not to bond when you're fucking someone's gone through something similar.
Yeah. And maybe there's was it that Groucho Marx thing? Yeah, never mind. But I mean, you'd want a little bit of crazy if you're going to be with me. You know what I mean?
There's got to be a little something there,
a little
right?
bit of something, yeah, because I don't know. I always did want a little bit of nut bar. Because I think you have to be, but it's funny you were talking about like people going to the gym and like that were put together. In my head, I'm like, red flag, going to the gym so much, just overcompensating. They got so much daddy damage issues. Like, that's exactly what got in my head.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not that it's crazy. It's a little bit.
I mean, look, I got when I was younger, I got beat up by guys that were all super athletic. Growing up in the Bronx, and wanting to like I'd be going with my mom to the Broadway plays, and then come back home and hey, we're all playing football and we're all gonna get my ass kicked for just being
you.
Yeah, you know.
And so I say it's crazy, but it's not crazy. That's literally your trauma response. You are defending yourself by finding a way to like fucking, not normalize what they're doing, not normalize these people because what they did to you wasn't normal, wasn't nice, it wasn't fair. So you're like, well, fuck them. They all have fucking issues. That is your coping mechanism coming in there. I had that too, when I didn't want to go to the gym and fuck everybody, everybody in there is shit. They're just trying to have sex with each other. It doesn't make sense. They're just making shit up. But I get it.
What did you? Wow, last podcast should have been this question, but what did you think about me putting on 100 pounds for the movie? Was that impressive, right?
Took your role really fucking seriously, man. I loved seeing
my boob.
The way I was cracking up. I've seen you do that a few times, like in person, off film. So
sorry, I know it's the last podcast, but yeah. I just did.
No, that was amazing though. Actually seeing you. Like just seeing the difference, and I was like, "Oh shit, what time does it's literally just like you grew up." That's how I'm like, "Oh fuck, he grew up."
Yeah.
Like,
now the movie's over, I can lose the weight and go back to my normal weight. That's what I'm saying. Sorry, but no, but I just think of that like the because I tried. I had a bench in my room. I tried being the weightlifting guy when I was younger or whatever, but I just.
It's just not your fucking thing.
Whenever I lost weight or got in shape, I would do it at jobs. Yeah, just
I think for me, like I was in the fucking dance studio 6 days a week, sometimes 7, and I was in amazing shape. And then it's like one extreme to the other. Like I went from that 6 days a week to now I'm fucking ordering McDonald's at 3-4 in the morning, like not working out at all. So like I feel like I know where I could be at. Like I've been there. And so I struggle with like wanting to be a fucking 20-year-old dancer in my prime, and also realizing I'm also a 40-year-old woman who has experienced life to like the fully extent. I'm 37, so not 40 yet.
37? Yeah. Kevin Smith. Sorry, anyway.
You've said that before. The last
I
time I said that shit.
Too much.
37. They go, oh, sorry, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, my bad. All right. A 40-year-old eating McDonald's. You call yourself a fat ass in your head when you're doing that, or you just feel guilt as you're eating it?
So I think about how shitty I'm gonna feel the next day before I order it. I'm like, what do I have to do the next day? Like, do I have places to be? Because I'm probably gonna not feel well.
Yeah.
And like I still fucking do it. I still do it, knowing that like my stomach is gonna be tore up. I have a McDonald's milkshake in the fridge right now that I'm like thinking about.
See, I can't. I go in these I'm keep trying to lose the weight, and she'll be like, blame me, go ahead. But it's like, it is part of it, being in a relationship where it's like she has her little cheats, or she'll ask me to pick her up sometime on the way home, pick up chocolate, and I'm like, dude, you're fucking asking me to go into the crack den and get you crack. So I can't, you know what I mean? I'm trying to stop the crack, but like, I can't not do it. So those habits are hard to fight.
It's really hard.
Chocolate is my problem, and then it's like, okay, if I got to drive somewhere with her in the car, like 2-hour drive or something like that, I can't smoke.
Oh fuck!
What am I gonna do?
Eat some candy. Yeah. Fucking eat some. And you don't vape, huh?
No.
That would probably bother her too. It's just the smoke itself. Yeah.
So it's just tough, but one day at a time. When I have better chances of, I lose weight, and then of course I put it back on. But like, at least in this line of work, the last few years it's been really hard to kind of get any sort of routine going. But it's better in season when it's like you are working 14-hour days, and you can kind of, if you plan it right, you could just basically intermittent fast despite wanting to. Anyway,
by default. But
emotional intelligence. Why is it sexy?
Yes.
Was that the name of the episode?
Yeah, that's the name of the episode, not body image.
So I guess I went off on a tangent because I was asking about men and women, because it is different. What is it? Just something? Because what is attractive for a man, or I guess for anybody it would be different. But I guess like you're saying, men are generally considered more logical. I mean, in the cliched version of it, and women are more emotional. So do you see, or how where does that attraction come to? Like if you see, describe a scenario where you find it attractive in life, in a safe way. Something that could get you in trouble.
Well,
like, do you see it as something that, like, do you see your female friend, that you find attractive in them, or that really, like, you just see a guy that has his poop together and, like...
Well, I think it's attractive in anybody. Like, it would be attractive in my parents if they had emotional intelligence. Like, I would really be drawn to that. I would be drawn to anybody who could, self-regulate and have self-awareness and empathy and clear communication. Like, all that shit is so attractive to me. I don't know if it always was, though. And so I think that, hence, like, why is it so attractive? I think it depends on the person receiving that emotional intelligence to determine whether that's attractive. Like, there was points in my life where I don't know if someone else's self-awareness would have been like, what the fuck? Like, ugh, because I wasn't self-aware. So that other person's self-awareness made me extremely uncomfortable. Someone able to self-regulate their emotions when I was fucking drunk off the rails probably wouldn't even want to deal with me, like, and the people who did, clearly it didn't last long, but like I couldn't appreciate their self-regulation because I was so unregulated. So like, there was an attraction. I think the older I got, and just the more that I went to therapy and started taking care of myself and my mental, then I could appreciate. And like, that's really what I find so sexy about people. It's not the looks. It's not the fucking, it is their emotional intelligence. They're like, how they're able to show up in the world, how they are showing up for people, and their selves, how they're showing up for themselves. Like, how they're showing up in the world. I don't expect anyone to be perfect, but just to have that awareness is huge. Like, hey, I'm having a fucking bad day, or I had a bad day yesterday. I fucked up. How can I make this better? Or how can I, let's work on not having that day again. Those type of conversations just fucking, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do with that. I'm like, what? You want to work this out? We're not going to argue and yell? Like, this is nuts. Yeah, so like, would 20-year-old you appreciate a woman who is like really self-regulated and self-aware, or when you were going through one of your
20-year-old me would be like, yeah, if she wanted me. I mean, let's be real. It's like, oh okay, yeah. Would it have mattered?
Would it have mattered if a woman, 20, when you were in your 20s, would it have mattered if a woman was fucking emotionally intelligent? Was that a thing on your radar?
Because at some point, like, I literally had, I mean, keep in mind this is before the internet, mostly, folks. But like, I had that old joke of like, God, they're all crazy. You had to get through your day, because how else do you understand the way this behavior is coming out of this person? You know what I mean? Like, you just have to write it off as like, fucking, they're all nuts. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like, because it's it would have been nice to have, or the people that I did know who were more put together, or just there, ended up just being friends. You know what I mean? Like, we were just cool and chill like that. But apparently people told me in the past that was partly my doing, because if somebody was all but that they were too good for me, so I already automatically wrote it off in my head, like, oh, we'll never get together, so I could just be me. And that made me super attractive to them, and then there was like, that was a thing, but yeah,
something to talk about. That's a whole episode in itself.
yeah, no, it's a thing. My friend, I had a friend who said I was because there were guys would always talk, right? And they'd be like, oh, and be like, Ed's great with the ladies. He just doesn't know how to close the deal. I would always like, get into that point. Like, oh, really? Because we're just friends.
How do you feel about that statement?
I mean, back then, yeah, no, I recognized it at some point. Like, yeah, but whatever. It happens. It happens. Eventually, I just wrote it off because, like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, it was a thing for a hot minute. Like, I would choke or not. I remember one girl I had a crush on when I was younger, probably like 19, 20. And I drove her home one night from work, and I told her, I was like, I just want to let you know, man, you're thinking about it. I thought I was in a movie or something. She's like, I knew it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And then she got out of the car. Good night. Okay. Thanks. We were still friends for years after that. You know what I mean? But there was never any like. She didn't like. I mean, later on in life, well, whatever. Let's not go there. But she did. You know, and then the feelings eventually came. It was like now, years later,
like what? Yeah,
it was the wrong time. If you had just like a day earlier, we could have been together. But you just chose, that made the red flags go off. Of like, really now? You see where I'm at? Like this, my house is on fire, right? You see that?
You see that? Like, why are you?
Now you're attracted? Yeah. But I thought about it for a hot minute. but anyway. So. But back then, like I said, if they were put together, like if you know, it's just more. They were just friends, or if. Then again, I should say like we were all like it was growing up in the Bronx. Nobody had therapists.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? And
that
then
wasn't
we moved up to Yonkers, and only a few people had therapists, and the ones I knew were really sociopaths. So they were getting therapy just to go out and fuck with people.
Like they were like people who like got therapy were like fucked up in our time. Like you're like, oh shit, they had some serious issues. Yeah.
So but so you know, some of that was like I said, you're kind of learning each other. You're learning together. You know what I mean? You're opening up. We're going through my trauma, your trauma. We're talking about things. And is that attraction a real attraction now, or is it just we're connecting from?
So that's a
sharing
good question.
Emotions.
Yeah,
you know
like
it
is. Yeah.
Or we both recognize we both have emotional intelligence. Are we both attracted to each other, or just that meshing of hey, we like these kind of things?
Yeah, like yeah. Like we're just on that same playing field. Doesn't mean that we're actually attracted to each other. I mean, but then that goes into like, let's define attraction, because like you can be sexually attracted to somebody, you can be just like emotionally, mentally attracted. It doesn't mean that you necessarily want them.
Sorry.
Do it.
You're right. You can be attracted and not want them.
Right. So like I said, like that attraction to my parents would be, you know, like I would be really attracted. I mean, if they had that emotional intelligence, I'd be drawn to them in a different way, where like now I'm literally running from them. Sorry guys, love you to death, but you need fucking help.
Ignore her. She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. I gotta get on her good side. Sorry. I gotta like the parents gotta like me. Sorry.
Yeah. We need listeners and followers. So love you guys. We all need help though. So like no, you know, judgment to my parents, but our whole family needs fucking help. I wish everyone would get some therapy. Therapy has worked wonders for me. But yeah, so like they're like,
come on the podcast. We'll get a good
right. Come on here. So like there can be levels of attraction. Like I can be attracted to your mind and not want to take that further. You know,
where's the fun in that? No, I get it. I get it. But I mean, but what is the attraction? So, I mean, I guess I totally get it, because I have those moments of like, I mean, at least I become more aware of it since I've been a photographer and filmmaker. Like I could see a pretty face or set of eyes and just be like attractive. Like I want to shoot that person, or like, you know what I mean? It's different than
like, doesn't mean I want to
sex them up. Yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. So I'm attracted to tons of people. Doesn't mean I want to fucking, you know, I'm attracted to people in different ways for different reasons. Doesn't mean I want to jump their bones. Yeah. I think that's a part of that emotional intelligence too. Is like,
so on a scale of 1 to, I should cut you off. Go.
You're going to ask me in scale of 1 to 10, where do I fall to jump there?
Right. No, but on a scale of like, where is emotional intelligence in do you just like, is it like, you like a nice tight butt, or do you like a car, or do you like, you know what I mean? Like literally, where
does that come?
Yeah. And ignore me doing this. I just shut it.
I know, because I freeze every time. I'm like,
so where does emotional intelligence rank in your current?
Right now, fucking like number 1. Top. Really? I don't give a fuck how you look. No, that's a lie.
Say. Gotta be a little bit of looks there.
It's a long laugh right there. No, so I think emotional intelligence is like number 1. I think that's what I'm seeking. Like, I'm polyamorous. Am I dating right now? We won't see that. We're not going to talk about that. But
polyamorous, that's the one where you sneeze around the certain pillow. Is that
you should be a comedian. Have you thought about that? But like, right now I want to know how you're dealing with life. Like, that's going to attract me to you. That falls, it's like very high on that scale. Tight butt helps, but it's probably further down on the list. I do like a lot of butt grabbing.
What if it's further down on the back?
I was like, what? That almost went over my head.
That goes underneath it, kind of. Anyway,
but
all right, so it's up there.
What about for you? Like, I mean, you always go, well, I'm married, but like, where's emotional intelligence for?
Yeah, no,
you? Just in general. Like, do you look for that in your friends, in your, do you look to make...
yeah, I did. I live for the conversations, you know what I mean? And I miss therapy. But it's good to have the best part about therapy is that it's somebody that's not, they have no direct, I had friends who always feel like, oh man, like when I was younger, it was a thing, like I have friends, I don't need therapy. But you guys, we're in our 40s now, or your baggage is weighing me down, so you need a little bit of, so I do need therapists, and I like that, but I do need to be able to have those conversations, and just it's important. But for my current situation, the married thing, and then because of what we go through, it's different because she has her memory issues from the stroke and all that stuff, and I'm also caretaker in a lot of ways, so it's a different ball of wax. You know what I mean? And it's also there. I would probably be prone to share more on the podcast if I was single, or the cyanide kicks in soon. No, but seriously, folks, she doesn't want to listen to this stuff, but yeah, I mean, so and I'm guarded for those reasons, but I'm also, there is a part of me throughout the years where I noticed it in my own, like I wrote a book that was very objective, but about my trauma, but I was able to like subject it, whatever. I made it like, here's the thing, studying this trauma. But it's not personal in the way that like, this is my life story. It's just, this is how I think you should fix this kind of trauma. But putting those things out there made me realize it can attract, I don't want to say it like trauma vampire, it can attract the wrong people. So there are some emotional things I don't want to put out. Like there are some things I don't put out into the world for protection, to have my own boundaries. Like I do want to share it and do want to, whatever, and maybe off mic I might talk about it, but who the hell knows is listening right now? And then not that like somebody's gonna knock on my door and go, hey, you're the guy that like fucking thinks this, but like, you know what I mean? There is some sort of, there is a little bit of
fear,
protecting myself from just vampires. You know what I mean? There are people that like, they want to, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
It becomes like a thing. So they hear my trauma and they want, they use it in a way that I don't,
that you're not comfortable with.
Right. Which is why like I wrote my movie. It's not like a, hey, this is my life. Like I don't want you in my head like that, but here's a part that's kind of, you know what I mean?
Get little lenses in there, but you're not getting this full view.
But I like the idea of the podcast, because there are people that don't even explore these kinds of emotions in themselves. Like there are people that don't hear this except through a podcast sometimes.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think it's important. You know what I mean?
Super important. Absolutely. While we're speaking about how important it is, I think that we should touch on the 5 key traits of emotional intelligence.
Ooh.
Starting with the first one, which is self-awareness. What do we have time to go through?
Sorry, I didn't mean to look at it. Go.
No, it's fine. How long are we in this?
This is 47. This is 47, but I don't know if it's actually 47. Did we start it?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? We
went on a 10-minute rant about body.
No, that was fine. That all flowed. The beginning was just like us starting and restarting like a chainsaw.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't drag this out.
No, you go with the 5. I just wanted to see where we're at. 5. I already forgot what it was.
I don't know. Oh, the 5 key traits of emotional intelligence. I'm like, what? You kept saying 5. I'm like, what? Get to it, sir. And starting with the first one, which is self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Okay.
Are you going to define self-awareness, or are you just going to... in your 5 notes, is it just 5 things, or is it 5 and you're going to explain a little bit of self-awareness?
Just kind of putting in practice.
Like, Ed, self-aware, get it?
Get it? The fuck? Damn it. No.
Oh, that's what she meant.
Damn it, you don't get it? I'm not going into definitions. I think we can all kind of like, but in practice of what self-awareness would look like in a relationship, right? Like, I notice I'm feeling insecure, not blaming you would be a practice of like self-awareness. Like,
okay, like my behaviors and my this is me.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
like yeah, as opposed to like, you're doing this thing and it's making me this way. Like that's so not, that's shaming, it's blaming, it is. I love that you're taking notes. Yes, we are fucking, look at that smile. We are amping this up. We're gonna be real podcasters.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're doing the thing.
She has no idea just because I have memory issues. I gotta write it down.
Me too. This is why I'm looking at my fucking phone for these notes. But yeah, so in practice, self-awareness would be, you know, knowing, recognize what's going on, not shifting blame, not, taking responsibility for your own feelings. Like, this is what I am going through. This has nothing to do with you. Let me self-regulate. Like, let me figure this out, as opposed to you're making me feel this way. You did this thing and I am this now. Really easy, right? Look at this. What's happening?
I can't. Can't say what no, but yeah, no, I try to be more you know, that was me, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm having you know, clearly this is working, you know, this has been a thing with me and blah blah blah, and yeah, so
but does it happen in the moment, that self-awareness, like this
sometimes,
is me, or
but
is
not
it
always,
like, right?
You know what I mean? Because there's so much going on and it's hard to regulate everything, and
so it's nice
next
to
day
have,
and,
yeah. And the point, so that emotional intelligence is getting to that point of like having that self-awareness in the moment. Self-awareness all around is great, but
I got it. You gotta hit like, the button. Like, no, Ed, it's for in the moment, not what you're describing. You're saying
it's like no, that's not. You're not self-aware, motherfucker. No, not at all. That's exactly what you said. But headphones are my big head.
Right. So in the moment.
Yeah, so like in the moment, but like self-aware, I mean, that self-awareness, I think it starts with, you know, you may not catch it in the moment, but like catching it after the fact, that's a part of that self-awareness that'll help you get closer to that moment. So like,
especially a part of who you are, like a part of yourself is a learning disability, or like you might have a delayed response time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Like it might take you a minute to go, on like everything in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it could still be, if it took you 10 minutes after the fight to go, fuck, oh shit.
Yeah, there could be another layer to that self-awareness there. So, but then also that's a part of the self-awareness, knowing that you take a long time to respond or for shit to click for you. Yeah. So like knowing that in the moment, like, hey, we're arguing, but wait, it's not. right. I need this to click first. Right. And the attraction to that is like, there's no projection in there. There's a sense of groundedness within that person, a sense of like, you know, there's nothing sexier than someone that's like, yeah.
I remember a friend of hers once earlier on when they're like, why are you still smoking? Because I was smoking. I was like, no, I need this. I was like, this is, if I don't do this, then it's like the negative thing I get to do. If I don't have this, then it comes out in my interpersonal relationships and ruins them. And you know,
like what?
You know that?
That's what hell of awareness. That's also, I feel like that's something you really thought about to justify, like, for the next person who fucking brings this up.
No, I wish it was right out of the heart. It was like, I'm fucking telling you, trust me. You know, I made a conscious effort to start smoking again because I had quit for years, and then I was in a hospital, a mental place.
Okay.
And I was there for like, and they wouldn't. And I was like, you know, I'd love to have a cigarette. Can I just go have a? It was just one of those. I was stressing out. I needed a nice cigarette, and they wouldn't let me. You know, obviously, I can't let you have a cigarette. We're a hospital. Like, well, motherfucker, I want a cigarette. And then it just became when I get out of here, I'm fucking smoking again. Cigarette. Just because.
Yeah.
Because I can, because that's life, and fuck you all. And I haven't stopped since, even though I try.
How long ago was that?
10 years ago, maybe.
Oh, shit.
15 years ago.
That's crazy, because the mental hospital that I was in had smoke breaks, I mean, tons of them throughout the day, but they wouldn't take the kids out. I was a child. I was a teenager on this mental unit, and they wouldn't take the kids out for walks. I had to like fight, like put up a fucking fight. Like, hey, I've been in these four walls for months. Can I get some fresh air? What the fuck? I'm like, why do all these adults get to go outside and like cancer up the place? Yeah. And that was my logic back then. Like, cancer up the place, and I can't get fresh air. And so then they started taking me on walks, which didn't end well, because then I started talking to a 40-year-old man on those walks and ran away. Right. So ultimately it was not a great thing, but I'm surprised that they didn't
pro
let you
smoking
guys.
Or no? Oh yeah, okay. No, yeah.
So it's funny because at that time I like smoked cigarettes, but I was also I wasn't that heavy, so I like smoked here and there, and then I smoked cigarettes for the next 10 years after that. Yeah. So I don't really care. That was just my defense for like fucking wanting to.
I'm not sure why they didn't. Maybe they just didn't let us go outside at that point or something.
I don't know.
But anyway, way tangent, but self-aware. What was the next step?
Next up. Self-regulation. Regulate that self, motherfucker.
That's step 2.
It's step 2. It's the trait number 2. Yes, there is no steps.
Sorry,
there.
Trait number 2. I meant bullet point number 2. Oh my God.
Messing up our
knocking the place down. Self-regulation. Define that. Regulators. Sorry.
So this would be like.
Sorry. Go.
I don't even know what you're saying, but I like it.
It's all right.
We're whispering. Self-regulation.
Take 2.
Self-regulation would look like emotional. I was like, is this what we're doing?
Sorry, go ahead. That was an accident. Go. Sorry.
Fuck off. Okay. I'm like waiting for you to do that.
I really am done. Self-regulation, please. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to learn.
So like it would be the difference of emotional reactivity. It would be what you would do. It would be the things that I'm trying to like, how do I explain this? I wish I would have put more fucking explanations in my notes. Self-regulation is like what you would do while you're starting before, like in the moment of activation. Like if you recognize that self-awareness comes in and you recognize that you are, things are bubbling, things are boiling up, and you do something to regulate that. You count to 10, you step out of the room, you explain to the
breaths. I do deep
breaths. Explain to the person that you are not regulated so that you can go self-regulate. And in order to self-regulate, a lot of that planning has to happen when you're not activated. So when you're in a state that, when you are not in any,
right,
like
meditating or whatever. Yeah,
you kind of sit with yourself and you want to gauge like what starts happening when you start getting activated so that you can self-regulate. If you start noticing that like, your heart starts pounding, or you my daughter does this, she clears her throat when she goes and I'm like, oh, okay. Like if you start noticing these little things that happen beforehand, you have more of a chance at self-regulating before you get to that, really emotional state. Yeah. Number three, empathy. In
today's world, it's like a curse word with the MAGA people. It's like you're woke. You know what I mean?
They fucking hate that shit.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't know why I get it on my feet. Probably when I'm driving Lyft, I get fucking bombarded with all these different algorithm things. But I remember talking to somebody not that many years ago. We were working on this film, as a matter of fact. My mom had her stroke. Fiza had her stroke, and I was talking to a friend about my problems who was a real alcoholic, and he just forgot everything the next day. And every time I talked to him, anyway, but I would have these conversations with him, and I was like, we were talking about people and how I didn't know the word, and not that I couldn't grab the word empathy. You know what I mean? I was just like, when I'm talking to people, you see them through, you see I was like just trying to describe it, like, yeah, you get their feelings and you understand, and he goes, oh, you're an empath. I was like, it felt like it's not like a comic book superpower. Like it's, it's an empath. It sounds like a telepath, an empath. The fuck? I think, isn't that just like a normal human thing? You know what I mean? But empathy should, in theory, be to be a functional human intelligent person. You need to be able to have empathy in that. It's one of the things.
It's one of the things, right?
Yeah.
You would think, right? And there's, unfortunately, no. I think.
Well, no, it's one of the 5 tenets. You need it.
One of the fucking things we need. I think that people confuse empathy with sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. Like, that's not what I need. I don't need you to awe me.
Right.
And then there's also cognitive empathy and emotional empathy. Like, cognitive is like, I understand why you feel that way. I don't necessarily feel that. And then there's that like emotional fucking empathy where like I can physically like feel like it hurts my heart that like you were divorced. Oh my God, like I can cry with you type of empathy. So there's levels of empathy there.
Okay.
But yeah, bringing that into, that understanding that like you may not necessarily feel what another person is going through. I think that's a whole nother level of like having to connect to your body. That's where you come and see me as a somatic relationship coach. I can help you connect. Right. Be more connected, coaching, plugging myself in there. But even if you can't, you may not be able to relate on an emotional level, but on a intelligent level, on a logistical level, being able to just like bring that understanding in is definitely a huge part of emotional intelligence. Yeah.
Okay.
And then emotional maturity.
Okay.
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
I made a face though. Maturity. Okay.
Mature. I mean, we've talked about it this whole fucking episode about maturity and intelligence. Like, what is the difference there, right? Like, what do you think when you think of emotional intelligence versus emotional maturity? To me, it kind of goes hand in hand. You can't have intelligence without the maturity.
Well, yeah. But you can have the maturity. Well, yeah. I don't know. As soon as you said it, I thought of people, and I'm like, oh, yeah. It's just, you're right. Somebody who's emotionally immature, it would just, emotional intelligence would be the opposite of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Emotional maturity. Why is that so like fucking magnetic? Emotional maturity. I think we kind of touched on that. Just like, I think there's a sense of like transparency when you're emotionally mature and intelligent. There is no like, especially in dating, there's no ghosting. There's no, fucking not confusion. Things are kind of, when you're emotionally mature, you are, you're not assuming things. You're not, you're having conversations, you're communicating, you are bringing your feelings to the table, which I think then now brings in that intelligence.
Right.
Like it feeds into that intelligence. Yeah. Oh, my notes, they left.
Can't take this bitch anymore.
Fuck. Oh my God. Okay, I thought I deleted it. I did not. It's okay though, because we don't really need them. We have a great show.
Was the 5th one?
That was the 5th one, the emotional maturity.
Wait, self-awareness,
self-regulation, empathy, clear communication.
Oh,
did I not say that?
No. No, you jumped right to number whatever.
So I fucked up.
Emotional maturity was the last one, and then
emotional maturity is just, I wanted to talk about why is it so magnetic?
You didn't clearly communicate this.
I did not. I fucking missed the clear communication.
Jesus.
Fuck. I don't even know. Anyway,
I got that face on camera, right?
Clear communication is a part of the emotional intelligence. You would have to clearly.
It's funny that you didn't.
That I did not put that in there.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible relationship coach here. It would mean like concise communication, like fucking really like there's no beating around the bush. There's being intentional with your communication as well. We need to talk about this when you're ready, when you are in a non-activated state, not letting conversations blow over. Being very intentional with your communication for sure.
So all those piled up, very attractive to some people.
Yes. Some people likes a fucking brat who's gonna give him a hard time and tell you to shut up, and I don't want to look like it. Oh shit. Anywho. Something you're attracted to? Yeah, a little thing.
Everybody's got their thing.
A little thing.
That's why I said with the episode we should do a when red flags or green flags.
That's our next thing. If we're gonna record, we can definitely fucking do that. But
is that but there is something to be said for knowing everything that is like what the right thing to do. You're emotionally intelligent and having everything, and it's knowing, being self-aware, self-regulated, blah, blah, blah. And then you see this person and like, fuck it, and you just kind of like you for whatever reason that it doesn't fit, that there's just something else that you can't, you know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
No clue what you're talking about right now.
So just opposites attract. So it can also be a thing. You know what I mean? Like to be as emotionally, to have some sort of emotional intelligence and have all that, and then yet you see the other person's like a train wreck sometimes. And you're like, yeah.
That'll go. And that's definitely for our next episode. When red flags are green. When red flags are green signs, basically. When When red flags are green flags. Yeah.
When red flags turn green flag, red flag.
Green flag, right. Something like this. Reminds me of.
But anyway, I guess everybody's attracted to what they're attracted to.
They can. Well, we also. Our attraction, yes, we're gonna talk about this next episode. Yeah. But I love it.
With that being said, the first date I saw on OkCupid, my wife, Bengali girl, it was just boobs, and I was going to get laid. That was it. I saw some boobs. I thought I can get some action.
Didn't care about any emotional and
just wanted some
intelligence.
That and fucking wanted to try to at least get the first base on the first night out. I was driving with my registration was expired. Drove over the bridge into Queens to try to get some. Because that's how it rolls.
Well, and now you're married. Look at that shit.
Yeah.
Story is told. Do you want to tell a quick...
Nope.
No? Yes, you do. I love your immediate no to almost everything I ask you. Is there a time or is there a story or something, an example?
What's ILO?
ILO is one of my students' companies.
Sorry, you almost poked me in the eye for a second.
ILO.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
ILO is one of my students at Pendulum Inc. ILO Unique is his handle. He has a weed company.
Cool. All right. You were saying?
I was saying, if you wanted to share or reflect on a story about your lack of emotional intelligence or a time where you used it in a great way.
No. Sorry.
You make terrible podcaster.
In a story in which I used the emotional, or where I learned it, or
either or. Just give an example of. I can give one. Let's start with.
Give me an example.
My ex promised he was going to do something for me and then didn't, and I was really pissed off. And I went to his house and keyed his car.
So you're saying that wasn't emotionally intelligent?
It was not at all. I was so not right. I was so upset because how dare you? And it was right around Thanksgiving, and it was around it had something to do with money in the end. It was around my daughter's birthday, and I was fucking pissed. And it was Thanksgiving. There were no stores open, and he didn't pull through with something, and I was livid. And add alcohol to that equation, and I was over there keying his fucking car. I actually stole my roommate's car to get over there. And so there's a lot of that's an extreme non-regulated situation. But I'm trying to think of what I would have done differently now. Well, first, I would have never put myself in a position where I would have all my eggs in a basket where a man would have financial control over me for my daughter's birthday, right? So that's number one. But I think I probably would have done something like journal instead, like to try to calm those emotions, because they were so heightened. Like when my emotions get that heightened now, I don't necessarily journal. I journal later, but I use a lot of breathing techniques. I fucking breathe the fuck through something, like breathe really intensely, which kind of calms me down a bit. I do this tapping method, like tapping my head, and that'll like regulate my heart rate and my anxiety. That makes me want to do this really impulsive kind of behavior.
Camera dead.
All right, well, we got a lot of footage on that. This one's still going. Yes. Do you have something similar? No.
Give me a second. Yeah. But yeah. Oh my God. What? Let me see if it's just a bad. Oh shit! Yeah.
Battery. Oh, baby, why?
So the camera can remain. This camera can remain on you. Here, I'll do this. Do a little backup. Cleaning. Backup cleaning? Are you still recording? So, oh my God, I don't know what I look like in real life. What? What did you say?
I gave an example of how
one thing I was going to say, I didn't want to interrupt you, because you said you keyed the car or the whatever, and I said I've dated that girl. I think we all have at some point. You know what I mean? But I think it's something that I probably shouldn't say this, but I think it's healthy. It's at least in the time we grew up in. I don't know how it is now for younger people in this generation. Where they're taught to be more communicative and whatever. But I feel like that was a thing, and I feel like, at least my generation was talking about your emotions. It wasn't like it would. You end up liking those girls that key your car. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not so much, older, but you know what I mean. There's something to it. There's more.
The excitement.
Yeah, maybe, but that's again, maybe 10 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years, maybe in my early 20s or mid 20s, I might be emotionally intelligent, whatever, but I like that girl that would key the car and do the thing, crazy bitch. You know what I mean? Like, there is a thing to it. Do you know what I mean? Does it make any sense?
I do.
And it's part of your, I don't know, maybe being self-aware, knowing like, oh, well, she just maybe needs somebody to talk to, or maybe I got to get better at, you know what I mean? Make any sense? You look mad at me now.
I just have so much to say, but I feel like
the camera's died, so we can't.
I feel like that's for the next fucking episode.
Yeah.
No, there is something to it. I feel like that a big part of that plays into like we confuse that adrenaline that we're feeling from all the shit that they're doing. Like we confuse that for like excitement and butterflies and that's actually your body like fucking feeling weird and not sure what to do with this, what's happening. And so we confuse feelings and we're like, oh, we're into that, but like, are you really? You know what I mean? Like for like is there longevity in someone who's keying up your car? No, I get it. Exciting right now, and like
this is definitely a next episode kind of thing, because of what it brings up for me, at least, which is always a pattern growing up, or for finding women, was, I'm trying to save somebody. You know what I mean?
That's a big part too. That fixer. For sure. All right. So just to recap on emotional intelligence, we can get to the next episode, which would be, and this camera too, which would be when red flags are green flags, or when they turn green. But just to recap on this, emotional intelligence doesn't mean being emotionless. Emotional intelligence isn't soft or passive. It's powerful. It doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're aware and accountable. And some helpful tools to help with emotional intelligence and maturity, journaling. And one of the prompts are, what are my emotional triggers and how do I usually respond? That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like when you get in that non-activated state, sit down with yourself and ask your questions. Finding what happens to yourself. Are you fucking going off the rails? Do you do a clear your throat thing? Like what happens before you get to those triggers and how do you respond? Practice and pause the name of the feeling. Like practice the feeling. If I'm upset, like practice what it feels like to get upset, and then kind of relive what happened and relive what happened and have another ending, like play out a different ending. Role playing those fucking conversations in low stakes settings when you're not activated. Or reading a book. One of the books that I like to recommend is Nonviolent Communication, which helps just regulate yourself all over the fucking map. Okay, love you guys. What you gonna say, Ed? Ed, come in here.
No, I was just trying to get it all on camera before this battery dies, and I'm on my phone and it's shit. So I was like, okay, cool, let's wrap it up real quick.
So I was like, let me just fucking run this shit off real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So love you. Ed doesn't love you. I do. And we'll see you soon. Please comment, repost, all that good shit. We love you. I know. I keep saying that. Ed doesn't love you. I do. Just.
I don't know you, Brandon.
I love you all. Love me back. Okay, bye.